Welcome to the Friday edition of Take 5 for Torah. Today is the Haftorah, and that means that today is August 8th, the 14th of Av, and we're going to be discussing the Haftorah of Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. This Shabbos, like many others during the year, get their name from the first word of the Haftorah, like Shabbos Shira, Shiras Devorah, Shabbos Chazon last week is Chazon Yeshayahu, Shabbos Nachamu from the same book, Nachamu Nachamu Ami, and of course the four Parshiot, and this is how we Shabbos Shuva Yisrael Ad Hashem. So the Haftorah actually often names the type of Shabbos, and there is a beautiful collection of Nachamu prophecies in the Psikta Rabbasi. You can find it in chapter 30. And the chapter is actually called Nachamu Nachamu Ami. A lot of the chapters in the Psikta is about Haftorahs. And it discusses the various consolation prophecies, especially in Treyasar. And practically each one of the Treyasar, the 12 minor prophets, are all put together in one book. As far as Yeshayahu goes, it is really to undo one of the most egregious elements of Eicha. I want to concentrate on this next week because the Haftorah of Ekev really elaborates on this, but it's that no one is there to comfort us. So Hashem says, if no one else is there to comfort you, I will. I'll make sure to comfort you. And the turning point of Jewish history, which is also described at the end of Sefer Yeshayahu, is where he says that the nations of the world will make a great effort to help you with your messianic aspirations. Now that hasn't been true for a good long time, although the Persians, when we came back to Israel after the first temple was destroyed, the Persians, especially led by Cyrus and kind-hearted kings like Darius, Artaxerxes, Artaxerxes, in books like Daniel and Nehemiah and Ezra, that these kind-hearted Persian kings were very well disposed towards the Jews and invited them to return and even helped them with their aspirations to rebuild the temple. Yeshayahu, however, speaks for the distant future that when we return to Israel, it will be with the permission and the blessings of not all the nations, but some of the nations. And indeed, we are bidden by a Gemara at the end of Maseches Ksuvos. Not everyone understands this to be a halachic Gemara, but the Gemara does say that we should not return to Israel if doing so flies in the face of the will of the nations. Lo timredu b'goyim. Do not rebel against the nations. So that's okay. Now, today we live in a time where many of the nations of the world have turned against us. But there is a very strong core of profoundly pro-Israel Gentiles, especially in the Christian world, that are very, very kindly disposed. For whatever the reasons they have, I know those reasons don't apply to us. So I'll accept their help, especially at a time where we stand alone once again. Ein la menachem, as Perek Aleph of Eicha says 5 times. But Hashem tells us there's always a purpose in everything I do to you. And if I send you into the exile, if I send you amongst the nations, there is a good reason for this. And the Haftorah from the week before, which definitely ends on a redemptive theme, I remind you, is Tzion b'mishpat tipadeh v'shaveha b'tzedakah, is that Tzion shall be redeemed in mishpat. That is our consolation. When the Jew turns towards justice, v'shaveh b'tzedakah, and turns towards charity, then we know that that is the greatest source of nechama, not only from God, but to each other. If you recall, it's such an amazing coincidence that when we were cast into the exile, we produced the most amazing work at a time where everyone else was so backward. We were busy codifying the Babylonian Talmud, the source of all of our activity and all of our halacha. And the gematria of Tzion b'mishpat tipadeh is exactly Talmud Bavli. V'shaveh b'tzedakah is exactly Talmud Yerushalmi. And this is, even when we don't understand it, we can see what led to what caused the Nechama in the first place, let us always appreciate that the Nachamu Ami comes directly from God, a theme we'll hear next week again.